You make my morning,
Elvis Duran in the Morning Show.
I'm actually really, really proud of Charlamagne Tha God. Charlamagne, of course, works down the hall at Power 105, but you see him all over the world on TV. The radio show is wildly successful.
Thank you for having me, Godfather.
The book is it officially out now?
It's out today.
Today's the day.
Today is the day.
Where's our copies?
I got you.
What you doing?
I'll bring them tomorrow.
You know, Charlamagne will talk about anything and everything. He's not afraid to cover any subject at all.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the topic you hear and you stay away from? Like, what are you scared to? What road are you scared to drive down?
I don't think I'm afraid to drive down any road if I'm informed about that.
What road do you turn off of as fast as you can?
Anything I'm not informed about.
Right.
Like if I'm not informed about it, I'm not going to sit here and give an opinion. I think that's the problem with the world today. Like everybody's giving these opinions on things they have no clue about. Like I'm just the type of person, I'm gonna take your word for it. Like for example, if it's always the discussion of if somebody's born gay or if they're not. Why are we having that discussion if you're not gay? If a person's gay and they tell me they're born gay, you just believe them and shut the hell up and take like that's it.
Right.
That's it. End of story. Why argue it?
Or even the identity, the whole identity thing. The transgender, transsexual, same thing. Like if that's how that person feels, who are you to tell them otherwise and tell them, oh, this isn't the way things are supposed to be? I don't have no idea of that. So if the person tells me that's what it is, that's what it is.
Charlamagne Tha God, it's black privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it. Not only is it the story of your life and your career, which we got to get into, but also things that you have learned along the way and you continue to learn, and you will learn until the day you die. He's a learner, and I think we can all learn from that. Absolutely. Never, ever close your mind to what's going on. I'm gay, by the way.
I'm too dumb to be closed-minded.
Hey, I
know you're gay, Godfather.
So
you made that perfectly clear the first time we met, and you told me about it. Well,
I gave him a reach around.
I don't want to blow him up because he told me about it. It might have been Alex. Was it Alex?
Was it Alex?
I think it was.
Did I talk about personal stuff with you?
Yes, this was years ago, though.
All right, we'll move on to something else.
And you told me, he gave me some great advice. He said, you know what they say, Charlamagne? I said, what did they say? He said, if you wake up in the morning and there's no blood on the pillow, you didn't have a good time.
I was talking about hitting my head on the. I fell on the street. Like head trauma. Okay, moving on. So Charlamagne has lived a life that we sometimes just think around movies and in books and things, but he's lived this life. He continues to do it. I mean, you used to sell drugs.
Definitely used to sell crack.
What'd you learn? What's the good thing about selling crack? What'd you learn from it?
There's no good thing about selling
there's got to be. No. You walked away with a lot of good stuff.
I will say selling crack helped me to develop my name because, when I used to sell crack in Moncks Corner, my government name is Leonard Larry. My father's name is Larry. Mm-hmm. So it's a small town, so if they would see me, they'd be like, oh, that's Larry's son. So I would always say my name was Charles or Charlie. And that's how the Charlamagne came into play because Charlamagne is French for Charles the Great. So
that's a good thing that came out of selling crack?
That's the only, That's pretty much
You spent time in jail?
Yes, I did.
What was that like? How long were you there?
I think the longest I ever did was like 4 months.
The longest? Like so how many times were you in?
Oh, man, about 4, 5.
So you in the back of a police car was like another day at the office for you. It was okay, here we go.
Me and my father have been actually locked up together. I've talked about that in the book. Yeah, because they had this whole, they thought he was this big kingpin, which he really wasn't. So they stopped him one day and they caught him with like less than a gram of cocaine. Then they came to my mother's house and searched my mom's house and they found like a bag with some residue in it that had less than a gram of cocaine. So they had both of us in the jail cell at the same time.
How'd you get into radio?
I got into radio because it came a point in my life where I started actually listening to my father because my father would always tell me if you don't change your lifestyle, you're going to end up in jail, dead, or broke sitting under the tree. So when I actually did start ending up in jail or seeing like my older cousins broke sitting under the tree or seeing people around me actually die, I was like, yo, I just got to change my lifestyle.
But
so
radio, I mean, you could have done anything.
Yes, I started working mad odd jobs and I used to want to be a rapper like many brothers in the hood. So I was sitting around this recording studio one day and this guy that used to do radio named Willie Will was there. And I said, yo, how'd you get in the radio? Like, simple question.
Yeah.
How did you get in the radio? And he was like, I went down there and got an internship. Now, this was 1998 in Charleston, South Carolina. So I was like, it's that easy? I can just go down there and get an internship? And he was like, yeah. So that's exactly what I went and did.
And here you are now.
Absolutely.
Some of the best people in radio started not through, collegiate studies of radio, from being interns. Look at there's Danielle's one up.
Yep. Yeah, that's exactly how I started.
I've never been to college a day in my life. Well, I did go to technical school at one point, but I was sitting in there and I was like, why am I here? I need to be at the radio station.
Right.
I got a job in radio. I should be there learning everything.
Is this something I can learn from reading your book too? It's like
absolutely.
Be aware of where you are and whether or not you should be there. Do you have any stories that relate to that?
Be aware of where you are and whether or not you should be there. Well, I'm a stern believer in energy. So if my energy goes up in a situation, I feel like this is where I need to be. If my energy goes down in a situation, I don't need to be there.
Right.
And the same thing with people. If I meet certain people and my energy goes up when I'm around them, I want to be with them. When my energy goes down, I distance myself.
So you do rub people the wrong way sometimes, and you have no problem with that.
By accident.
But you don't do it. You don't wake up in the morning, Charlamagne, you are going to piss people off today. You're just you, and that happens to be a byproduct of you.
Because I never want to be I don't want to turn into a caricature of myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lot of people that I grew up liking, like whether it's Skip Bayless or Stephen A. Smith. I feel like those guys are caricatures now. Like they're doing what people expect them to do and want them to do. I'm not like that at all. Like I'm never afraid to grow, never afraid to evolve, never afraid to take on new things, and just I might be a different person tomorrow than I was yesterday. I mean, that's the goal, right?
Have you ever regretted pissing someone off or hurting someone's feelings? Regret maybe is a weird word, but
no, I
felt kind of bad for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if people remember when I put out that audio of Floyd Mayweather reading. This was like maybe a couple years ago, and Jimmy Kimmel wanted him to come on the show and read like a page out of Cat in the Hat.
Right.
And we actually had audio from him reading drops in the studio.
Right.
So everybody in the room was like, "No, don't play these, Charlamagne." And I was like, "No, we're playing them. We need the ratings. We need the numbers. Elvis Duran is kicking our ass. Let's do it." And I played it, and I just immediately felt bad for it. Like, and I didn't get reprimanded for it. I didn't get in no trouble. Nobody pressed me in the street.
That's the worst kind.
Yeah, I felt bad.
When you hate yourself for doing something, not hate, but when you regret, there is a little regret every once in a while.
Yeah, so I kind of like, I learned from that, though, because I had an opportunity to do something like that to Drake a couple years later.
Right.
Because there was all the rumors about him being not writing his own raps. So somebody actually sent me the reference tracks. And when I got him, I was like, nope, this is Floyd Mayweather all over again. I don't want him.
But Charlamagne, you have people coming at you sometimes. I mean, you live a life where, people want to hurt you.
Oh, I've been attacked twice outside of the radio station.
I know. I feel safe working here because Charlamagne's people are watching after us, too.
That's right. Do you know, by the way, we owe you money because Charlamagne, your people offer to defend us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like your guy is always just like, you just let me know.
Yeah, we should help pay for that. Go ahead and invoice us on that. I know, but I mean, living a life where you're being yourself, another byproduct of that is some people don't like that. They don't like you.
That is absolutely
But do you care if anyone hates you? Do you care if anyone dislikes you at all?
No, because I talk about the rule of 10 in the book. It's two things. My father would always tell me that you're never as good as they are and you're never as bad as they say you are.
Mm-hmm.
And Cadillac Jack, salute to Cadillac Jack, he told me that the rule of 10, 3 people going to like it, 3 people not going to like it, 4 people going to be on the fence about it. So that's honestly just how I live my life. I just have to be true to myself, and I have to express, as long as I know I'm not being malicious or purposely trying to be disrespectful, I have no problem saying anything.
You make my morning, Elvis
Duran in the morning show.